Yes, there we are, guys. There we are. It is Sunday. This means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their lives and careers and their dreams and their books and their campaigns. Because I am kind of done with mainstream, guys. Mainstream comics bore me, and indie comics is where the passion is. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. I know I am. We had a special celebration stream yesterday, which was fun. We gave away some comics. We gave away some artwork. It was fantastic, and plus our pre-launch page for Perfect 10 issue 4 is now live. So you can sign up, guys. You can sign up to that, so please do. It's so the pre-launch page. I have the link in the description of this video. Please share it with others. So this basically continues where we left off. It's the same creative team. So Pau is back, Daniel's back. I myself am still working on this. You have some sneak peek art. It's fantastic story. It's an award-winning story, guys. Please share with others. Get them on board. We launch the full campaign next month, so don't miss out. Don't miss out. And thank you all so much for signing up. Right, stop the screen. Okay, guys. We have a brand new guest today. Brand new to the show. Never been here before, and this is awesome. So I can introduce new people to you guys, and you guys to new people, right? Because there's a lot of cool stuff being produced, being made, and we like to showcase that and talk about it. So let's just bring the guest on. May I have a very warm welcome for Mr. Michael T Gonzalez. There he is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Getting ready for kids going back to school tomorrow.
The kids going back to school?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. It's been a long summer. Yeah.
Yeah, long summer, right? You have to keep them busy.
Yep.
Now you can just send them off. All right. Keep yourselves busy today. Okay. All right. Where are you from?
I live in Asheville, North Carolina.
All right.
I'm not from here, though. My dad was in the Army for 20 years, so I'm an Army brat. I lived everywhere. And even after he retired, I moved all over the place, and I lived in China for almost a decade.
In
So
China?
yeah,
Wow.
I've been pretty much everywhere.
Wow, that's China. That's a completely different culture, right? That's
Yeah, it was definitely interesting, but I'm glad we got out when we got out, because we
mhm.
left in 2015, right before a lot of this stuff, this social credit and all this kind of stuff, really came down on people. So we got out just in time.
All right. Okay. Now we have to try to keep it out of our own countries also.
Yes.
Yes. Crazy times, man. Crazy times.
Yeah.
Phantasmagorical, welcome. Welcome,
Hey.
welcome. Nice to see you. Okay, before we talk about you and dive into your book, I need to ask you, what are you drinking?
I am drinking some Grey Goose and tonic in my Ghostbusters cup mug.
Who are you going to call?
Who are you
Wow.
gonna call? The bartender for another round?
Yes, yes. Grey Goose, is that a brand?
Yeah, it's a vodka.
Oh, it's brand of vodka, really? Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
pretty popular in the States, I think. I think it's because it's cheap.
Yeah, I think it's more popular than Bud Light anyway,
Yeah, especially now.
as you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. All right. Let me just wait. I made a little banner that I don't forget the banner. Here we go. Show. There we go. It's Rainy Road Roundup. That's what we're going to talk about today, because that's a series of comics or a publishing house. What is it?
Well, it's basically since 2013, I've just been making comics in a variety of genres and things like that. Just because I got all different kinds of ideas and things, so I just wanted to actually make them. And
Hmm.
so there's a lot of different things. The first comic was 6-8. It's a supernatural horror comic. Then after that is Neotheric, which is like it's a sort of like a Deadpool vibe to it. It's like ultra violent, little dark comedy. It's about dinosaurs that come back to modern day Earth. And then there's Book of Legend, which is an anthology. It's kind of like a all ages hero sort of anthology. And then the last two I did was Epic of Darkness, which is an adult horror anthology. The two issues of that. That's the character that you see in the background there.
In the
She's from
back.
those two books.
I I saw this drawing, by the way, this character in the background, and I knew the artist, Narcelio. Narcelio
Yes.
drew this, right? Yes, yes.
Yes.
He drew something for us also. He's a
Yeah.
good artist, man.
Yeah, he's excellent. I don't know why he's not like, really big.
Mega popular. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Phantasmagorical says, I made a video for Rainy
Yes,
Road.
she
Cool
did. Yes,
beans.
she did. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Phantasmagorical is great. It's great.
I always
Um,
appreciate any help people are willing to give to shout outs, retweets or whatever it's called now. And yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Reacts, reposts. I think
yeah,
they just name it repost which is a little bit boring, to be honest.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Good stuff. Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome. Welcome. Okay. So you make comics. I think you said 2015 you started, right?
I
Um,
think it was like 2013 when I
13.
first
Okay.
actually sat down and started, like writing stuff out and trying to make
Hmm.
something happen.
Hmm.
And again, that was the first book was called 6-8. And it
Yeah.
was intended to be kind of like a calling card sort of book, just a one shot. I could, show my work and stuff.
Yes.
Um, and I believe I started that in 2013. And I think I eventually finally like uploaded it to Comixology like the beginning of 2015, I think. So it's been
Okay.
about 10 years trying to make
Yes.
stuff happen.
So what got you to the point that you decided to make your own comic? Um, I take it you were a comic book reader, a fan, a collector. Started somewhere.
Yeah, well, so I grew up reading comic books. I love comic books, and
Hmm.
again, starting from late 70s through the 80s, and then kind of waned off like in the mid 90s. But I always wanted to write. I wanted to make my own because I always, had ideas in my head, and I thought, well, these are just as good as the stuff I'm reading, so why can't I make them too? So I started like the very first. I remember this very clearly because I still have the rejection letter from Marvel. I sent a submission to Marvel when I was 11 years old,
Oh
and
wow, really?
yeah, it was part of the. They had this thing called, oh, what was it called? There was like this book they put out where you could, artists and everybody could like send stuff to Marvel as like samples. And I'm blank, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was pretty famous in like the 80s. And
Hmm.
so that's when I sent some stuff. So I'm just a writer. I can't draw for shit. So I just sent like what they call springboards that are just like ideas for stories and characters, and then you do like a one-page synopsis. So I sent that in, and I did actually get like a rejection letter. I don't remember what it was, like about a year later or something. Um, so I kept trying, writing stuff, and I tried like after I graduated high school, I sent a bunch of stuff to Dark Horse Comics, and
Wow.
nothing ever happened there. So I kind of gave that up for about like 10 years. And then, like I said, I was living in China for a while, and I just wanted to give it kind of like one more try because then I found out about, like comicsology and all this, with the internet, you can now, find artists all over the world to work with, to collaborate with. And, you could put stuff online. You didn't have to spend thousands of dollars to make physical copies of things. So I said, well, what the hell, let's just try it one more time. And so that's when I found the artist to do that first book, 6/8, and then just tried to see what would happen with it. And then I've kind of just kept going with it, trying different things and different ideas, and
Hmm.
hoping that something will really catch, so
Yeah.
that that I can keep on doing this.
Yes, that's how these things start, man. It's Michael, another Michael T High Desert Comics. Welcome, welcome. Um, and oh wait, I saw Mike. Was Mike here? I thought I thought so. Yeah, Mike is also here. Hello, Mike. Better late than never.
Hello, Mike.
Nice to see you, Mike. Okay, did I miss anyone? I'm always afraid I miss people. Anyway, how did you manage to find the artist for your first book?
I just scoured like different websites. I think I found him on this website called Pencil Jack,
Hmm.
which I think still exists. It's so that our artists can post up, that they're looking for work and stuff, and that's where I found him. And so I just contacted him. I think he lived in Canada,
Hmm.
and so I just talked to him. I had like the a script done and everything, and so we just worked together, and just contacted each other through email, and eventually, it got done. So, and then like I said, I put it up on Comixology, just to see what it would do. But and I put it up on other websites too. There was another website, it's called Comics Central, and it's also just like Comixology, but it was more geared towards independent comics.
Okay.
And I think it's defunct now. But
Mm.
at the time, every year they would have like these. They would get industry pros to judge the comics, and at the end of the year they would give out awards for like best horror, best sci-fi, best superhero comic, whatever. And so the my comic, the 6/8, it won the best horror comic for that year.
Oh,
And it
cool.
was it was judged by Charlie Adler, who's the Walking Dead artist.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh, that is really cool, man.
yeah,
Really
it was
great.
unexpected too. I totally forgot that they even did that, and then I got an email from them and says, "Hey, you won." I said, "Won what?" And it was like, "Oh, this is cool."
So
And I
what?
did actually talk to Charlie Adler too on at the time on Twitter about it.
Hmm.
He sent me like his actual review of it and everything.
All right, cool. Did you get something like a certificate or a plaque or what or
Yeah,
something?
I put it's on the Fund My Comic website. You see,
Oh,
they
okay.
gave me like a little. It's kind of, I mean, not a physical certificate. It's just an image, but it's
Mm,
there, and they also had like this little icon. It's kind of like a shield or something. It has best horror comic 2018, Charlie Adler's name on it, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
great, great. So where did you get the idea from for your?
for
Well,
that
you have
first one,
several books.
yeah.
So how do you create ideas? Do they just come to you? What is your inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, they just come from everywhere.
Hmm.
Sometimes it comes from like watching or reading something and then thinking like, oh, this isn't very good, but what if, you do it a different way? And then so you go with that. Sometimes it's literally like a dream I have, and the whole thing will play out in a dream, and I'll just write it down. It could start from like the idea for a character's name.
All right.
It's just
Yeah.
like thousands of different things where ideas can just come at you, and it
Hmm.
just usually they come like little pieces, and then I just keep notes about things, and then slowly build it until it becomes like a full-fledged story, and then actually sit down and try to write it out. But like there was one time where just recently I had like a dream, and it was like the whole story from start to finish fully, and I just like woke up and I just got on the computer and just started typing it all out. So I
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't forget it.
You have to do it immediately when you wake up
Yeah,
because you forget your dreams, right? It's
yeah,
really
yeah,
strange
exactly.
phenomenon. Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
oh my God, why can't I remember that?
I had this brilliant idea last night when I woke up.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Especially now
That's
I'm
what happened.
getting old, so I forget things very easily.
Yes. Phantasmagorical is sharing links. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So your the genres you make or the genres you work in are very broad, right? There's not one direction that you're going.
Yeah, I mean, like I believe in that mantra that variety is the spice of life.
Hmm.
So I like to watch and read a variety of different things.
Yeah.
I think there's value in everything. I don't want to like pigeonhole myself into like, oh, I only like horror, I only like superheroes or whatever.
Sure.
There's
Yes.
value in everything. And
Hmm.
so when I write stuff, I do the same thing too. But like that, the 6/8 story, the horror story, growing up, I was never that much interested in horror, and I never really thought that I would be writing horror. It only
Hmm.
came about because my wife, we were watching The Walking Dead, coincidentally enough, in China, and I was actually talking to a low budget film producer in Hong Kong about different projects and things, trying to, pitch things to him. And she said, well, why don't you write a horror comic? Because or horror story, because at the time we were watching Walking Dead, and so I was like, yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should try something. And I had like little bits of ideas for some horror elements, not even a story, just like different things. And so I just put it all together. And at first, it was going to be, yes, it is. At first, it was going to be a feature-length film, and then I thought about, well, maybe if I can make this myself, but I wouldn't be able to do a feature-length film. I maybe do it as a short film. So when I went to think about, well, how would I tell this same story as a short film? I thought about, well, I can't tell it linearly because there's so much, I'm telling a feature-length story into a tiny 30-minute story. You can't just tell that exact same story and just scrunch it down. So I came up with the idea of like it's non-linear. It jumps in time, back and forth through time. And then the more I thought about it, it's like, okay, I can't make no film either, a short film either, because I don't, have the resources and everything to make a short film. But maybe I can make it as a comic.
Mm,
So that's when I went to that one, and you know made the concerted effort to actually make it as a comic book.
okay. You initially wanted to make a movie.
Yeah.
Is it still on your wish list to someday make a movie, or are comics now
Uh,
your medium?
I mean, it would be awesome to make films because I mean, I've always loved films as well as, comic books. And after I kind of gave up on comic books, I went and tried to get into the, film video industry, and writing stuff as a cinematographer,
Mm,
cameraman, all that kind of thing. So I tried that for a while too. So, I mean, I really enjoy films, and I think I understand the language of film and all that kind of stuff. So I think it would be great to make some of these stories as live action films or even animated, whatever. But the more that I'm doing this, is writing comics and stuff, it's like I don't have like it's not like I have a bigger desire to make films. It's not like I'm making these comics so maybe one day I can make them as a film.
mhm.
I don't care about that really. I really enjoy the comic book medium,
Yeah.
and I enjoy like the independent creativity of it, that you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of people or whatever to help you make it. You
Yes.
just need, if you're an artist, you just need yourself. Or
Hmm.
like in my case, I can't draw, I need at least one other person, two people, and we can make an entire book and this entire story ourselves. So I think that's a great thing. So it allows this independent voice to really come through, and you to make it tell the story however you want to tell it.
Yes, this is true, man. This is true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make comics, and if they were to literally translate it to film, it would cost like 300 million. You know,
Yeah.
it's just spectacular stuff, and you can
Yeah.
do it for a relatively small budget, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
the other side of that coin is that you can tell in a comic book, and like in these films, like because it costs so much money to make them,
mhm,
you have to make so much money back to justify making it.
yeah,
So then it becomes like it's so watered down. It's like, well, I need this to appeal to the broadest amount of people so that I can make that money back.
that
But
too.
in
Yes,
comics, I don't really need to make that much money back. So I can tell like more, I don't know how to say, just more like smaller stories, or just things that are more personal stories to
yes.
you, that maybe it's not going to appeal to a huge audience, but that's okay because I don't need to.
No, you don't need to. This
Yeah,
this is why we have a variety of comics. So together you can have a large audience, but
yeah,
every comic has their own little audience, right?
yeah,
Um, and if you like what you make, then there are probably other people that like it also.
yeah.
So
That's
where
the
did you?
hope.
Yeah, yeah. Where did you? How did you learn how to write? How to write scripts and stories?
Well, one thing just comes from practice, just sitting down and actually writing them.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is obviously reading them, reading lots of comics and see how other people do it. But like I said, I was also into, filmmaking and stuff like that. So I read a ton of stuff about, script writing for films.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's hundreds, if not thousands, of books on script writing. So I've been through all that. I've written tons of scripts and things. So I think it's just practice. Just actually sitting down and actually banging them out, and then going through that whole editing process where you look at it and don't become too attached to it. You look, try to be as objective as you can and say, okay, this is good or this sucks, or why does it suck and how can I make it better. So I think, practice makes perfect, basically.
Yes, that's your own work. So you judge your
Yeah.
own work very
Yeah.
strictly. Like this
Yeah.
is not good. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think not enough people do that. And then
Yes.
not enough people are real honest. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was younger and I was, I thought everything I shed out was like gold. It's like
Yeah.
this is like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is. But later on, when I read it, it's like, oh my God, did I actually write that? What is
Best
so
thing
wrong?
ever. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was. So it is a serious wake up call when
Mm-hmm.
especially if this is one of the things I really like to do, is like after I write something, leave it alone for a while,
Mm-hmm.
go do something else,
Yeah.
then come back to the original thing, and then I think then you can have a more objective like viewpoint of what you've written. You can see like
Yes.
what the holes are or what doesn't work quite well and things like that. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
This is why many writers have multiple scripts going on at the same time, so they can
yeah,
that one can be paused. They can move over to another script for a while.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at your campaign, the Rainy Road Roundup. 5 comics ready to ship. That's amazing, man.
Yes, sir.
Ready to go. They're already printed. You have them in stock.
Yes, they're in the shelf in the other room over there.
Woo, fantastic. Okay.
Limited quantities though, so don't miss out.
Of course.
Don't be
Yes,
sitting
sir.
on your hands, people.
All right, all right. Let's see. Right, Rainy Road Roundup. Limited. Oh yeah, here it says limited quantities, so get them while you can. Okay, this is your logo, Rainy Road Comics. It's like a
One of the
cool.
logos I have. The other one's
Oh, you have
this one.
multiple.
This one.
Oh wait, let me solo you for a moment. Cool. Your own shirt.
Rainy Road.
That's
Yeah.
and then you know it's for real, man. When people come with their own shirts, they're serious about it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, about the campaign. So what can you tell us about Rainy Road Roundup?
Okay. Well, the first thing, if you want to see that says "more," just right under the
Hmm.
that girl's ass. Just some important things I want to just to let everybody know. The first thing is like on the Fund My Comic, they haven't adjusted it yet so that if you're including shipping, it doesn't say the plus shipping. So um, everything still says plus shipping in the thing, but I've built in shipping into every single physical item that you can get. So there's not going to be anything extra when you go to checkout. What the price you see is the price you pay. The other thing is if you want to more than one thing. So if you want to get 2 books or whatever, just use that coupon ship two and it'll save you, I think it's 20% on each item. So like if I send one book, if I ship one book,
Hmm.
if I
Yeah.
just add one other book to it, it doesn't cost the same as the first book. Sometimes it doesn't cost anything additionally, depending on how much the second
Yes.
book
Yes.
weighs.
Yes.
So we put that in there so people can save on shipping.
Cool.
Um, so yeah, so I think you got to go through and if whatever the things you want, you got to click on them first. Then you go to your checkout. Then you'll have everything there. Because I think if you go to like if you click on something to add it to your basket and then you go to the basket, then when you come out of the basket, like you say, oh, I want also to get this other thing, it zeroes out your basket.
Mm.
And I've told Luke that a while back, but I don't know if they're plan on changing that or whatever. But anyway, and the other thing is, yeah, so everything is completed. I'm not trying to raise money to make these things; they're already made. My goal with this campaign is hopefully to reach new people, to expand the audience,
Yeah.
who will hopefully support, uh, new projects that I want to keep doing because I definitely want to keep doing, making comics and stuff, telling stories.
Right. Yes. So was it easier to include the shipping cost with your product instead of
I
uh,
think it is. I
the
think I
usual route?
like someone suggested that to me a couple of years ago, and so on all the campaigns I've done since then, I
Mm.
like to just include shipping because I just think it makes things easier. And I'm
Okay.
trying to. I think the easier it is for people to back something, the more likely they will back it. So, because I back stuff too. I mean, I try to, back a lot of stuff. Some things I'm still waiting like 4 years for, but
Yeah. I know it's terrible.
sometimes when I go to like people's, campaigns, and then I click on something and I go to check out, and then then you see, they add the shipping, and it's like more than the book itself.
Yeah.
So to
Sometimes that
me,
happens.
this is kind of a turnoff, especially since I don't really got that much cheddar right now. So I got to be, you know, careful with the money I spend. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just think it like makes things easier. simplifies things and makes everything clear. It's just like, okay, this is how much I want to spend on to help this campaign. So that's what it's going to be.
All right. All right. These are the 5 books that you have.
Yes, sir.
These are comics.
So
Uh,
6-8 is a 48, 46 page. I can't see it on
it
the
says
screen.
40.
Oh, 40 page. Okay. I
Yeah.
can't remember. It's been like 8 years since I made the book. So
Yeah, yeah.
just forgive me if I don't have instant recall for everything.
This
But yes,
cover, this cover is very, very interesting. By the way, it has this novel feel or movie feel or something like that.
yeah, the artist, his name is Alan Byrne. He's very much like Ben Templesmith, if people are aware of him, that artist. And he has a very cinematic quality to his
Hmm.
artwork, which I think is great, which because that's exactly what I wanted with that particular book. And he told me that his kind of design for this cover or the way it looks was kind of inspired by Silent Hill, the video game series Silent
Okay.
Hill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I can
yeah,
see
that's
that.
yeah.
I can see that. Great. Yeah.
And then the next to it is Neotheric. That's the graphic novel. It contains the first 4 issues of the series about the dinosaurs that come back to modern day Earth. And again, it's like kind of like a Deadpool or Lobo sort of feel to it,
Hmm.
or vibe to it. And the one next to that
Neotheric.
is Book of Legend. That's the anthology. It's got 9 stories. That one's pretty. I would say it's all ages, maybe teenagers stuff. So there's nothing really because everything else is pretty much adult, mature. But that book is Book of Legend is more for like all ages. And then the last 2 are Epic of Darkness 1 and 2. That is the adult horror anthology, and it features. I was trying to go for kind of like a 2000 AD thing, where they usually feature kind of Judge Dredd in most of the books, and then there'll be some backup, stories or from random characters and things. So it basically features that character
Hmm.
in every issue, and so she's like the feature story, and it's a serialized story, but it also contains standalone, self-contained stories in it as well.
Right. Okay. Great. Adult horror. Yes. Another horror book. Epic Darkness.
It's very adult, very adult.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, these covers look great.
Thank you.
Indeed. Indeed, cinematic. Often. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
there was the one you were asking about. Has like the certificate they sent me has
ah.
Charlie Adler's name on it and
Indeed.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
In recognition of your outstanding comic book creation and contribution to the indie comics community. That's excellent, man.
yeah.
That's excellent.
It was a cool website. I don't know, they just didn't have enough support, so it eventually folded. But yeah, they did a
Yeah.
lot of good stuff for independent comics.
And Phantasmagoria, check out the Rainy Road storefront on Fun Comic. Link pinned at the top of the chat and also located in the description. Yes.
Yes, listen to that lady.
Thank you, Fanta. Thank you so much. Maybe should zoom back out a little bit. Yeah, this cover is neat, man. Really cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I can see this as a poster, just movie poster.
Yeah,
I love
something.
this effect here of the paper.
Yeah, if you look on some of the inside, go scroll down, you can see some of the
Oh,
interior art,
cool.
and he's got that I think he put like multiple layers on top of the artwork to give it like this sort of a dreamlike sort of feel to it.
Mm,
So it's a lot of texture, and atmosphere. That's one word a lot of people when they review it and they respond to it is they like it has atmosphere.
really nice. Really nice. Yeah, it has its own style. So it's remarkable that you found the this artist with this specific style that really
Yeah.
fits your vision, right?
Yeah, what's funny is because if we're people that get the digital version of this, I also made a PDF that shows um the the background of it, like the making of and everything. And what's funny is one of the things is when I first thought of this, I thought it would be like a um more like a very realistic sort of art style, like almost photorealistic, where it
Mm,
was, you know, uh, but at this time, this is my first comic, I was not able to like just type out the story from my imagination alone. So I had to sketch out every single panel and every page myself, doing like stick figures and things, but showing, the exact angles and all this kind of stuff. And since I'm not a good artist, it was very sort of like just like this. It was more like just evocative, more like a sort of that kind of a feeling to it, not like
mhm,
so literal or like realistic looking drawing.
mhm.
And then the artist, he drew it like this, kind of like similar to the way that I had sent it to him. Like, it was just meant to be like, okay, this is something to help you make sure you understand like my script,
Yeah.
to understand what I was typing. Because again, it was my first one and I wasn't real confident about the script and everything.
Mhm.
But it was funny just kind of like looking back on it. I was like, I don't know if I have the page there up on here, but there was a page he did with like this little girl, this sort of like dancing under this sort of spotlight in the darkness. And it just looks like it's kind of just like floating there in sort of like this void. But that's the way that I drew it in my little,
Yeah, yeah.
crappy sort of helpful thing. But then he came back with it and it looks almost just like that. And it just works that way. I think it works perfectly. And it was it's just life is kind of funny the way things work out.
Yes. This is great, man. It's great if
Thanks.
if you find this artist that really gets it. That's
Yeah.
cool. So Luke made you censor out these naughty words, right?
I think he says on the what is it, on the terms or whatever, that you can't
Mm,
have anything like
yeah.
adult or something. So yeah, I mean in the book it's not censored or anything like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
It's you get the
Cool.
full effect.
Yeah. It's also nice that he doesn't use the same color tone every time, so you do get like a sense of different locations and stuff, different
Yeah, that's one
atmospheres.
that's one of the things people comment on is like, and I can't see that because I'm colorblind. But
Oh.
he was able to he put if you watch the book, because like I was saying, this is nonlinear, so it shifts from different times, goes back and forth for all these different times. And that's
Hmm.
one of the things he did to kind of like make that clearer, was include like different color tones in it. And
Hmm.
it's funny because I can't see that. Everybody else can.
You can't see that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting. So who's your letterer?
For this one, he did it. The
Oh, he did it.
artist,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he did that on this one. I actually asked him not to, because I
Hmm.
was thinking about maybe doing it in different languages.
Okay.
Um, and I don't even know if I have like the raw pages without lettering.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, he did this one. Everything since then I've done. So just to cause save money you know, and a lot of times when I get the artwork back, I'll change the script based on the artwork.
Yes, yes.
So
That happens also. I know.
yeah,
The neotheric. What does that mean?
yes.
Neotheric?
It's a made up word. It's supposed to mean like neo is new. Some theropod, like theropod means like beasts, animals,
Mm-hmm.
and ick is like the age, so like Jurassic or Cretaceous or whatever. So it's supposed to mean like new age of beasts.
Aha, okay.
So,
We got a review by RJ from Critical Blast. He says it reads like Mad Magazine with the gloves off. Gonzalez leaves no sacred cow ungored in this irreverent action comedy of a graphic novel. And you printed only 100 copies.
Yeah. So all of these are very low print runs.
Look at this cover, it's fantastic.
Thanks.
Really cool.
Yeah, so I originally did the 4 issues were all digital only. So there is a cover for
Mm.
every individual issue, and you'll see the covers in the trade paperback, so you know where each book starts.
Okay,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but the graphic novel, so there are no physical versions of the individual issues. The only physical version that exists is this graphic novel that has all 4 issues together.
Okay. And how many do you have left now of these?
Oh, I think I only have like
Because
60 left,
60,
something.
because these are now rare. These are the only books left on the planet, guys. So
Yes.
you need to get them.
And
Uh,
I did have all the books on Amazon, but I've zeroed everything out so to make sure that everything is available for this campaign.
mhm.
That
And this the fun scene also, creature
yeah.
behind them.
So this was the second one I did, and I found this guy, this artist. His name is Dave Mims.
Hmm.
He did the first 2 issues, and he was supposed to do the whole thing, but then he ghosted me, and so then I had to find another artist, and I wasn't able to find anybody that has his style because his style is extremely unique. Um, but I just had to do what I had to do to get the thing finished. So there is a obvious shift in art styles, basically like halfway through the book, but it is what it is. So
Yeah, that sucks, man. If
yeah.
That sucks. But it's so. How did you set up this sequence in your script? Did you describe every panel? How,
Yeah, the
how-
way I do it is I got a like I was saying, like in my early 20s, I had submitted a bunch of stuff to Dark Horse, and at the time, and I think they still do have on their website, it's like a sample script. And so I got that a long time ago, and I started using their template. And over the years, I've modified it to my own thing. But it's basically, yeah, it's like you describe each individual panel, what happens in the panel, and then you have the dialogue within each panel. It's similar to a film, a screenplay.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, so in the beginning, like in the 6-8, I used to like be extremely detailed about every single panel. Like this is the angle, this is exactly what you should see, and this is the lighting, and blah 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 blah. And I know, well, now I know that that was kind of overbearing, and it's a little bit too much. So I've learned to back off. And so now, like, I still write every single panel, but I typically what I write is just what you should see in that panel, like what happens, not necessarily like how the artist should draw it. So I try to give more freedom to the
Yeah,
artist
sure,
and
sure. Yeah.
let them, do their thing.
Hmm. Yeah. I I know this, man. Sometimes you know the scene. You have the scene in your head, and
Yeah.
you write it down. You send it over to the artist. He comes back with his layout, and it's completely different
Yeah.
than what you imagined. So you have
Mhm.
to take a minute and adjust, and then recognize, you know what, this works also.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely happened where somebody will come back, an artist will come back to me with something that's like nothing what I thought,
Hmm.
and this is like, wow, this is way better than what
Yeah.
I had imagined.
Hmm.
Sometimes though it doesn't work, and we have to like go back and forth and say, okay, this is why I think it should be this way, and then so yeah, so sometimes you have to uh, fight a little bit if it's something that really think, okay, there's a real reason why it needs to look this way. And other
Hmm.
times, it's just like, okay, I'll just let it go. You're the artist. I'll just trust your
Yes. Yeah.
artistic instinct.
Phantasmagorical says, I've got to go get ready to go live myself. Oh, okay, sure, you have to live. Have, have a great rest of your stream and day evening. Much love. Thank you so much for dropping by and for sharing the links. Much appreciated. Fanta, have a fantastic rest of your day. Um, so who's this guy? Look at this dude. This purple guy.
So in this story, there are 4 dinosaurs that come back to modern day Earth. This guy is the Pteranodon.
Oh,
His name is Bruck. And in the story, the basic idea is sort of like Noah's Ark kind of thing, where these aliens are used. I mean, sorry, the dinosaurs are used by aliens as like biological terraformers. So they go from planet to planet, terraforming these different biospheres. And so dinosaurs didn't go extinct on Earth. They were just actually put on a spaceship and transported to another planet. So this is millions of years have passed and they've evolved. And some of these dinosaurs, they want to be free. They don't want to be slaves of these aliens. So these dinosaurs get together to escape. And excuse me. And in the dinosaur, there's a hierarchy in the dinosaur, like species. So, like the pteranodons, the one that can fly, since they can fly and up above everybody, they're like sort of like the supervisors. So they're the ones
mm,
that kind of work more directly with the aliens to control all the other dinosaurs. So he's sort of has like an aristocratic sort of quality to them, and the other dinosaurs don't like them. And then the T-Rex, his their purpose is to cull the weak from the herd. So to accelerate the sort of the evolution of the animals and things. So they're basically like killers. They kill the weak so that only the strong survive, so that the animals can progress. So
mhm,
each dinosaur has like a specific role in the hierarchy of their civilization. But so these 4 dinosaurs escape from the aliens and they come back to a former home world. They don't know that human beings have evolved and are all over the planet. They're just trying to get away from the aliens, so they crash land in America, in modern day Earth. And the first 4 issues is basically like the first 12 hours after they crash. So they crash, and there's American government forces that come to investigate and to find out everything that happened, and they get in a clash with them. And so it's just what happens like immediately after they crash, basically. And it to because this was I want this to be a series, an ongoing series, like 50, 60 issues. So
oh,
I have
wow.
like a huge story for this about what happens. I know how it all ends too. So this is basically just the very beginning of the story. And I wanted to do the 5th issue this summer because I
Mhm.
found a new art team that was really ready to go with it and wanted to do it, but things haven't really worked out, so it's kind of been put on the back burner, and we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. Well, what a cool concept, man. It's
Thank you.
really, really, really original. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's from the same book.
Yeah, so you see the different in the art style. This
Yeah.
is, and I can't remember his name either. He's on the front of the book. Uh, but so he's the second artist that I found, and he took over and he finished Andre Portilla.
Andre.
Yeah, he was able to finish the last 2 books,
Hmm.
and so he did it. I think he did a really good job, and he did it really quickly. So we were able to actually get it done, which is the good thing.
Yes. Yes. It's sometimes a struggle to get a book made, man. Get a book
Yeah,
finished. Um, and this page is also great.
thanks.
Yeah. There's some good stuff here.
Thank you.
The book of legend. This is a different genre.
Yeah, this anthology, it's generally it's like heroic stories, the hero's journey kind of stories.
Mm,
The first four stories were stories that I wanted to submit to 2000 AD as future shocks. I don't know if people are familiar with that. They have like these little 4-page sci-fi stories with an ironic twist, and it's every like all these the famous writers, Alan Moore and all these guys. They started with 2000 AD doing the future shock stuff. So I had come up with these things, just short stories, to try to hone my craft as a writer to see if I could tell like a coherent, compelling story in just like 4 pages. So the first four stories in the book are, I think it's 4 or 5 stories, are like that kind of format. And then the rest of those 9 total stories, then the rest are, just some more ideas I came up with just to some funny things. And it's just like different genres. Like this story here, it's kind of like a 90s sort of hyper violent sort of, the kind of thing you would see in the 90s.
yeah,
She's like a ninja kind of thing. Um,
there's a
then
good
there's a,
artist also, but I forgot his name.
yeah, I can't pronounce his first
He
name,
has
but
a
he goes by
complicated name. Yeah.
PR Daedalus.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's a really good artist.
Yeah.
Um,
Really cool.
Excellent artist. I follow him on Twitter right now. Does a lot of cool things. I thought he did an excellent job with this one. Um, like this guy right here is kind of like a sort of an homage to like the war comics from like the 50s and stuff, like
Mm,
Sergeant Rock,
yeah.
those kind of things. So it's just like the hero's journey kind of stories, but through different genres and different eras.
Yeah. Look at this
And
bike, man. That's really well drawn.
yeah,
Look at this. Really, really well done. I
yeah,
like
I
this.
try I try my best to find like excellent artists that
Yes.
on the level that you would find in like the big two or whatever. It's maybe not today because they're not like that good, but back in the day
Yeah.
that
Back
you would think about in the 80s and 90s kind of
in the
stuff.
good times. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 70s and all that.
Yes.
That
Plus.
level of artistic, I try
Yeah.
my best to find people and the artists that match their style matches the tone of the story. So
Yeah. I
it's
think
not
you
easy.
succeeded here.
Uh,
Epic of Darkness.
yeah,
Yes.
and
It's cool
this is
cover,
the
man.
last two that I did. Thanks. That's Brian Escura and
And
Adriel Dalla Vecchia did the colors.
the cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Brian, and they both did the interior art for that story too.
Oh, they
So
did. It
the
says
cover
here.
artist,
It said here art by Gilliard Goulart.
this is also an anthology book.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
So this is a adult horror anthology. So
Hmm.
this one is uh I don't know. Again, I don't know how I pronounce his name, Gilliard or Gilliard, but
Hmm.
he's an excellent artist too. He does a lot of really good black and white colors. So I figured I'll just leave it black and white. It looks better.
Yeah, sure.
And this one's by Joaquin and Adriel did the colors. And Joaquin has done a lot of good stuff for me. I try to use him whenever I can. He's a really good artist and a good guy. He lives in Uruguay, and he told me like they don't have any kind of a comic book industry in Uruguay. So he's always like looking for stuff to do.
Really?
Yeah.
So this guy, he has a social like tag like name like a Twitter like name. It's Big
Yeah.
Rig 9420. Or
Oh yeah.
where does the 9420 come from? Does it have a meaning?
It's Big Rig 69 420.
Oh, 69. Okay.
Yeah. 69, the famous
Mm-hmm.
number for all the 15-year-olds out there.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
And
it's,
42.
he
42 the
calls
answer to
himself
everything.
Big Rig 420. He's
Ah, okay. All right. Got it.
And that's one story. Then this other story is this artist by Olin Orig. I think he's from Philippines. He's done a couple things for me. Also, that was in Book of Legend. He's a really good guy, really good artist. And I can't remember who did the colors on this, but it's in the book. It has because some of these
Mhm.
are like I did like years and years ago. It's just now finally getting to like print them and put them out to everybody. So
Yeah. Uncle Smiley's Fun Park.
yeah, that is like a tease for something that will be in Epic of Darkness 3
Okay.
if we can get to make that book. So I wanted to put like a little bit of a tease. People to be like, "What is the hell is that?" Well, you'll see in the next book.
Cool. Really cool.
Thanks.
And then the Epic of Darkness,
Number
other
2.
one. Yeah. Cool art.
This this art is also by Gilliard, who did the one
Yes.
from the last book. And I added the spot colors
Mm-hmm.
because when I was lettering it, I thought that it might help because you don't see it here, but it starts off with this character. She's on an airplane, and he drew in that she had like this neck pillow, and I didn't write that in the script. He just put that there. But I thought that since it's in black and white, it might, and there's so much chaos going on in this story, that it might help if I colored that neck pillow so you would know, you'd be able to follow the character because there's like 100 different characters in here.
Wow.
So I started with that. I was like, let me just see how that looks. And so I added these little spot colors just to see, just experiment, see if it worked or not.
Yeah.
I think it came out all right.
Oh, some
This
white
is the
eye shut stuff party going
this
on.
this is the conclusion to the Roquette Man story. That's in the second issue.
All right.
Kind of shows you what happened to that dude. And this one is the also continues. This is another character that would kind of be featured in the book. His name is Grave. It's sort of like Conan meets Frankenstein, or or Jason from Friday the 13th movies.
Mm. Okay.
So it kind of happened. The setting is like a fantasy sort of world, like World of Warcraft, but the character is kind of like this Freddy or Jason or Michael Myers sort of like character in that setting. So that's also a serialized story.
Hey, a lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah.
And this is the story from the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the second part to her
With this
story.
character, that's cool. This robot or what it is.
Yeah, that this is also kind of teasing about or well, it goes to what that Uncle Smiley's Fun Park is. These are robots from a defunct amusement park in the future that
Okay.
these creatures use to do their bidding about different things. And then where they're going on this train is to that um, amusement park. So you'll see Uncle Smiley's Fun Park. It's not very fun anymore.
Welcome, Dillard.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome, sir. Um, okay, cool, man. Everything looks nice.
Thank you.
Get some extras with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
again, so the idea is like I'm not trying to get money to make the books. They're already done. I've got lots of stuff like stickers and all these other kind of things that people can get. So I'll just package them in with depending on whatever book you get.
Hmm.
I'll just throw a bunch of nice cool extras in there for you that I already have. You don't have to wait for them or anything.
Yes. Welcome, Shadowhawk Talks. Uh, nice to see you. Okay, so all these books are done, and your campaign is, let me see, it's raise mode. So you are
Yeah.
funded. You only had $1 to go.
Yeah. It's basically just a storefront. I'm using it as a storefront
All right.
to, yeah.
So this means when people back, you will ship it out immediately.
Yes. Well, as soon as the money comes through, to make
Yeah.
sure that everything's all good, which I
Hmm.
think usually takes about 7 days,
Hmm.
to go through Stripe and then to the bank and everything. So yeah, it's like within a week, and I ship
Nice.
everything in. For right now, as long as I have them, I ship everything, every book in a Mylar bag, which is boarded, and I put it in then wrap it up in bubble wrap. And then I put it in a Gemini mailer, and then I put all of that inside of a poly bag to help protect it. So
Wow.
I try to go extra step to make sure you get your books and quality
Extra
stuff.
step.
And I do have some damaged copies of some of the books that were damaged by the printer, and for some reason they still sent them to me. I don't know why. Uh,
Yeah.
so I was just like, okay, I'll just sell them for super cheap. So there's some of the Epic of Darkness 1, and I've got some of the Neotheric graphic novel that were damaged. So if you just want like reader copies,
Yeah.
you can get that too for super cheap.
And this is just $10. Shipping is included, right?
Included. Yeah. Yeah. The plus
So this
shipping, you
is
can ignore that. So it's just $10. That's it.
exactly. So guys, this is less than the average shipping cost on other campaigns, and this comes with the book. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's for a
fantastic.
damaged copy, a print damaged
Damage copy.
copy.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
even with the normal ones it's like that book 6-8, it's $11. That includes shipping.
Okay. Do you ship worldwide?
No, not at this
No,
time,
at this
because
time.
it's just crazy expensive, and I don't have
Hmm.
that many, you know, uh, physical books. But
Hmm.
of course, I do have PDFs. So if you're outside the USA, if you're
Yes.
okay with digital, I have PDFs, and there's a bundle there, so you can save if you want the whole all of the books in one
All the
bundle
books. Yeah.
as PDFs. You'll save some money there, and there's a physical bundle also where you can save some money.
Great. All right. Guys, you can check out this campaign and all the perks. The link is pinned in the chat. It's also in the description of this video. Please go check it out. If you can't back, that's cool. Just share it out on social media. Tell everyone about this. Get some more eyes on it. You have 3 backers right now. Let's refresh. It could take a while with Fuck My Comic, the refresh, and then
Yeah.
it stays the same. It stays the same. Okay. Um, Great, excellent. Okay, okay, guys. So yeah, check it out. Stop the screen. And before we close off this show for today, guys, I need to remind you that Perfect 10 issue 4, the pre-launch, is now active. You can go there. The link is in the description of this video. You can sign up. You get a free mystery print. It's always quality, guys. Last time the mystery print was drawn by Joe Bennett, who drew the Immortal Hulk. So you get quality. Um, so go check it out and get notified once we go live, which will be next month. So don't miss out, guys. Share this. Share this, please. Thank you all so much. Um, Michael, thank you so much for being my guest today and
Thank you for
showing us your
having me.
campaign. You're
Thank you very
welcome,
much. I
sir.
appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. And special thanks to the chat, to everyone who showed up today to watch us. Thank you so much for sharing, for liking. If you like this conversation, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry.
Don't do that.
Um, I'll be back, well, next week. So next week I'll be back with another Drink with Brink, same time, same channel, new guest. Hope to see you guys then. Bye bye, guys.
Peace.